Hi. So yeah, about 1 year ago, this is my go-to notebook. You can see it's like covered in like coffee stains and like super old, but um, this was my notebook. It's from BuildSpace, so thank you BuildSpace for the notebook. It was just from an event that I went to. Um, but yeah, I wrote a lot in this notebook. For most of this notebook, I was actually living in Japan. So this is kind of like me traveling back in time, seeing what things I was thinking about, the way I was living. For context, it's super different than the way I'm living now. Now, working at Hack Club, organizing these events. Back then, I was really all into trying to build my own software, along with my best friend Dieter, and trying to make it something that can like support life and also help a lot of people. So yeah, I wrote a lot in here just about like my daily process, like what I did each day. Some like philosophical stuff, like just thinking about like purpose and like what I'm doing, with the impact it could have. Some reflection on past work, some like technical implementation things, like where I was just trying to write out how am I going to do this thing. I think I wrote in here probably almost every day. I'm just gonna see what are some things to share. Uh, yeah, this is kind of interesting. We would map out like, here are some various tasks we want to do today. How many are Thomas tasks? How many are Dieter tasks? T for Thomas, D for Dieter. We were working on this thing called Coden, which was a kind of like a storyboard generator where you can generate a storyboard and then like move it around and add stuff, captions, voice, etc. to it. We were using like Llama and like Stable Diffusion. But some of these were like UI sketches. Like this was a sketch of how I thought this could look on mobile. So a sketch of like the site. I have some other sketches in here. Yeah, another sketch. So many UI sketches in this notebook. I used to do so many more UI sketches, honestly. Like for a while, that was like something I did a lot, even before working on this project. Yeah, this is another one. Um, yeah, this is cool. This is for the desktop app, so it's the UI. Yeah, I think you're able to see that. Yeah. Um, but main thing I want to share. Oh yeah, this is also kind of cool. Some drawings, some UI sketches. A lot of this stuff actually ended up being what the app looked like, how it felt, which is cool. Like I can just look back and see like this is the paper sketch that I then implemented in UI design and then actually coded, which is just so cool. Like it feels really handmade. Like I literally just started pen to paper, me in Japan writing this out to like boom, I can still open it on my computer and like that's cool. Yeah, like a lot of like technical implementation details, like how do I want to do this. But yeah, I guess one thing I wanted to share was I just found this today and kind of reflected on it, and I was like, wow, this is wild for me. I can't believe I found this. Um, but yeah, I wrote this and I thought this was kind of true to who I am. Maybe it will sound cliche, maybe it won't connect with you, maybe it will. Um, but if I build, I should build with love. Love in every bit of design, love in every feature, love in every imagining the user and the app relationship. I should not put out something because I think someone else will care. I should put out something because it's deeply meaningful to me. It's easy to accidentally fall into the trap of chasing status, seeking what other people want and what other people think is important. But money/status doesn't bring happiness. Deeply touching people's lives in a meaningful way does. So maybe that's a bit philosophical, maybe, maybe too philosophical, right? Like during the time in Japan, we spent a lot of time building this stuff, and ultimately it wasn't something people really wanted. Maybe I was just too in my head. I think a big reason why I journaled a lot during this time was I was living in Saitama, which is a more rural area, so in Okomachi. So it wasn't super common for me to talk to people, other than of course my best friend. We would talk all the time, but other than that, it was just me and this notebook, right? It was just kind of my way to get my thoughts out of my head. So I just have so many notes here, and it's just really fun to look back on. I think that was a really special time in my life, and a time when I grew a lot, learned a lot, tried a lot of different things. And I think one thing I can learn from this time is like, wow, just when you get a passion for making something, when you really believe in yourself, you can really just go all out with something, which is exciting. I think the thing, if I could teach my past self, would be maybe find quicker the thing that only you can do, you know? Like, I feel like with the work I'm doing at Hack Club, a lot of it's just stuff only I can do. And I can kind of leverage resources in a way where it's like the software I build has meaning because it can provide this in-person experience. And that, like, what's more important is the thing you're leveraging, and the software is more of a boat, you know? What matters is what's on that boat. Is that something people want, right? It's like a cargo ship, you know? Especially when it comes to like front-end web design, I think it's a bit different if you're building different things, but it's like, is the thing you're making something people fundamentally want? If not, who cares if it's a nice looking boat? If no one wants what's on the boat, it's not useful. Like, I'm designing this interface for making, the storyboard, right? But, people actually seem, based on our experience, based on the people we talked to, the people we were trying to target actually didn't even want to make storyboards in the first place. So who cares if the interface looks good? Yeah, so I think that this was a lot of great practice, great effort put into something. It's just, I would tell my younger self, like, hey, just try more to find out what's the thing only you can do that people want. And then pour all this love and care and everything into it. But if you just start with the love and care and putting everything into it without having something that people actually care about or people want, then what are you doing, But nevertheless, this was a really fun time. And yeah, that's week 3. See you guys next week.